Hi guys, and welcome to episode 54 of the Crochet Cakes podcast. My name is Clarissa Beth, and ever since February 2018, I am your one and only host for this crafting podcast. And you can find me anywhere on the internet as Crochet Cakes, a little Instagram, Ravelry, Pinterest, and you either follow my blog, or you can just go check out my blog, crochetcakes.com. And you can, if you want to contact me, and you don't want to use Instagram, Ravelry, or my blog, you can email me directly at crochetcakespodcast@gmail.com. You can also, if you're interested, go check out my Etsy shop, which is Dainty by Crochet Cakes. And all the links, as usual, will be down below. So how have you guys been? Have you been doing well? I know I've had a couple of new subscribers, so if this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much for giving us a chance. We're a wonderful community, I promise, and just hope you enjoyed the video. And for those of you who just keep coming back weeks after weeks, thank you so much for giving me some of your time and just sharing your crafty love with me. I really appreciate it. And I guess I can also say you will find an affiliated link down below if you're interested in yarn subscription boxes. It is, I am an ambassador for Knit Crate, so the affiliated link will take you directly to the Knit Crate website, and if you purchase, then I do get a small commission if you actually subscribe to their yarn boxes. Now, I will talk a bit more about Knit Crate and what they've sent me a little later on in the episode. But before that, I just really want to catch up with you guys because it's been a little bit since I podcasted last. Or since I last podcasted. How about that? That's better. I don't know what it is, guys, but ever since Halloween, words have been failing me. I feel like I'm talking in reverse. It's crazy. But anyway, if you watched my previous video, you may or may not remember that on the 21st of October, I was a bridesmaid at my cousin's wedding. And the wedding was in Boston area. It was actually in Framingham. Yes, I know that's where she lives. And we did travel like 30 minutes to get to the venue. But either ways, it was around the Boston area. It was in the state of Massachusetts. And we also visited my brother who lives in New Hampshire, sort of New Hampshire, Vermont area. He's not really too central New Hampshire. But anyway, we all got to experience some fall weather. And by we all, I mean my dad, my mom, and Edison and I, because everybody else lives in the fall weather. We didn't. And it was beautiful. We went pumpkin picking and apple picking, and I do have a couple of videos that I'll probably insert at the end of the episode, so you can spend a little bit of extra time with me if you're interested. So yes, on that Sunday, being a bridesmaid was the hardest job in the world because it was 45 degrees, really, really cold, and the wedding was outside. Actually, I also think being a bride was hard work that day. My cousin had a strapless white dress, so I'm pretty sure it was very cold for her too, even though there were a lot of layers of poof in that dress. But the only picture that you can kind of see my dress is here. It was a halter-like halter-like backless ensemble with a open leg. So yeah, a split hem on the leg area. So I guess it wasn't really recommended for fall weather, especially if we didn't wear anything to cover up. So we were freezing. We were freezing, guys. And as a result of that, even though we had a lot of fun and it was beautiful fall weather, being uncovered just resulted in a horrible cold, which I'm still sort of getting over. So if you hear a bit of croaking and stuff, it's because of that. I will try to edit out all the coughing and throat clearing so you don't have to worry about that. But yes, I got a cold, which is kind of the reason why I didn't really podcast during Halloween. And also, on the back of that, I didn't know what to do for Halloween, because usually Mom and I had planned a super Halloween you know, special for you guys so we could all share in that Halloween love, but that just didn't happen this year, guys, you know. So it was very sad Halloween, actually. Yeah, it was actually a very sad Halloween. I worked, and then after I got out of work, you know, we just went to a friend's house, ate some pizza. Then when I got home, I was too tired to sit down and watch Practical Magic and eat my pumpkin cheesecake. So it was very sad. But other than those changes, another big one that happened is, as of the 2nd of November, I am no longer employed by the business I was employed. I am now endeavoring to just dive right into the entrepreneurship, into the self-employment part of my life. I feel this is where I have to be right now, and I really want to give it my all. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it won't pan out, and if it doesn't, then I will go look for another 9-to-5 job. But I really, really want to give it my all. So, as I mentioned, I have an Etsy shop and I have a blog, and I will be working full-time in those two things to just really, really get out there and be able to actually live off my crafting, which has always been a dream. Whenever I dreamt about things, I always dreamt of being self-employed. So even under historian flag, I thought I would do articles and newspaper and journals and all that so that I could actually be self-employed. It's always been a dream, and I'm really hoping to turn it into a reality, because after all, don't we create our own reality? So yes, that is probably the biggest news, and I may or may not write a blog post chatting to you guys about this new experience and this new part of my life, because you guys really gave me the courage to try it, and I'm thankful for that. So yes, I think I've unburdened my soul, as it were, and it's time to actually get talking about all the crafty things I've been up to. Now, I may not have gone out on Halloween, but I do have something to share with you that happened the weekend before Halloween. Yes, the weekend right before Halloween. So, that Sunday, the 26th of October, I don't honestly remember the day, I signed up with a couple of people, co-workers, to go to Painting with a Twist. And if you're not familiar with Painting with a Twist, it's basically a paint by numbers kind of thing. So there's a painting that you signed up to learn how to paint, and it's really literally, they walk you through the steps of doing that painting. There's no techniques taught, and that's why I kind of call it like painting between the lines. I mean, painting in the lines, you know, like dots, connecting the dots and painting inside. That's what I've been trying to say. So what we signed up for was this mermaid that you see here. And this is what I did. Yep, this is my mermaid, and you know what? I'm actually pretty proud of her. There are things I guess I would have liked to change, but overall, I'm quite proud of my mermaid. You know, this far away, you can't really see any of the mistakes. This close up. The best part was that hair. That was the best part that came out. So yes, this is my mermaid. I still haven't hung her anywhere because I don't know where I want her. Originally, I was supposed to go to Painting with a Twist to paint something that my father would actually enjoy so it could be his Christmas gift, but my coworkers really wanted to do a mermaid. I don't know how I feel about her, but she's not too bad. I feel like we can be friends, this mermaid and I. So that's one of the things I did. The other thing I finished was my Halloween skirt. I was just missing to do the rolled hem, which one of you lovely viewers actually suggested I do. So I had to, of course, find out what a rolled hem was, because I honestly had no idea what a rolled hem was. So essentially, a rolled hem is just what the name suggests, a fabric that you've rolled under, so you only have one seam running all the way across. And now that I know what a rolled hem is, I think I'm going to use it for every single project because I loved doing that rolled hem. Now usually for a rolled hem you can purchase a rolled hem zipper foot. I didn't have access to that, but there is a lovely video which I will link down below that explains how to manually do a rolled hem. Essentially, you are going to just sew a line without folding anything, then fold over about 1/8 on. So that line is about 1/8 below. Okay, and then you're just going to sew over that line again, and then you're going to fold over again, and you're going to sew right on top. So you'll only have one seam exposed on the outside. Now I didn't finish it because I was desperate to just wear it, and I think I've caught it enough that I could probably just get away with doing it. It was a little bit tricky trying to get straight seams on it, I'm not gonna lie. Organza is very slippery. I had never worked with it before, so I think I just need to work with it a bit more. Also, since I cut this to be a circle skirt, you've got some bats that are completely upside down, and some that are right side up, and some that are just slanted. And that is because when I rolled the fabric, I rolled it so, folded the fabric, I folded it. So I opened it, the seam was wide, right? I opened it, the seam was wide, then I folded it once this way. So you can already see the print here isn't really gonna match because these guys are upside down and these guys are right side up. And then I folded it once more. So you essentially fold it in twice. You fold it twice and then you cut this area here to the measurements of your waist, right here. And then you're gonna cut around to the measurements of your waist as well. So what you'll have left over is a nifty little circle when you've cut. This side, you'll have a circle, and then here you'll just have some annoying leftover pieces of fabric that you may or may not know what to do with. So that's essentially the basics rundown of a circle skirt. I always tend to do elastic waistbands on my circle skirts for some reason. I just prefer them. They're more comfortable, and you don't have to add in a zipper, so you don't really have to cut your fabric anywhere to insert that zipper. And I think that's incredibly fun. So, other than painting with a twist and finishing up that Halloween skirt, which I love. Even with all the mistakes that are nowhere in that skirt, I absolutely love it. It may or may not be my favorite thing I've sewn so far in terms of garments. Actually, I think I love all the Halloween things I've made for garments. The Halloween dress, skirt, and that one. Perfection. But other crafty things that I've been up to, I wrote a blog post about the Christmas gifts that I'm planning on making for this year. And yes, it is Christmas crunch time season if you are planning on making gifts for people. And I think I'm behind on that. But I do want to share with you some items that I'm hooked on or needled on. Essentially just some works in progress, which I do have a lot. So I just picked a couple to share with you guys, and mainly I just picked 3 to share with you guys. So I think I'm going to start with something that I've shared with you before, the journey of my dress. And I call it a journey because it's very, I think it's the simplest yet most involved crochet project I've embarked on. Involved because there are a lot of squares that you need to sew together, and I've never done that, believe it or not. So what am I up to on the Secret Garden dress? Basically, I'm right now just calling it a blouse because that's essentially what it is, guys. This is too short to be a dress for me. This still has one more row that I need to add under this one, and then three rows of with a 5mm hook, and I think after that I'm still going to do one final row with just the gray kind of board to make it a border. I think I will do that, but don't know if you can see, but I've added in the back part. I've sewed it all together. I'm just gonna wear it for a little bit like that. Kind of, you know what it reminds me of right now? I remember when you were in kinder and you had to wear those plastic aprons for art class. This is what it's reminding me of. But so you can see that the square just reaches literally this area here. So adding to that one more and it'll just reach a little bit above half my thigh. So I will be adding a third square in, but essentially I'm about ready to join these guys to the back and keep working on it. I've made a couple of circles that I just haven't really attached. So slowly but surely, I honestly hope to have this ready for Christmas. As a Christmas gift to myself, I guess. But yes, if this is your first time tuning in and you've never seen this dress, this is the Secret Garden dress by Cassie Ward. It is found in issue 101 of Inside Crochet magazine. And the yarn I'm using is this one, which is sadly discontinued. And I do mean sadly because I have so many ideas of things I want to make with these with this yarn. So I'm really sad that it's been discontinued. But it is essentially a blend of cotton and polyester. So it's 80% cotton, 20% polyester. And I don't know if you can see, but the way it's made, you can kind of see there the threads. It kind of looks like it's been knit, doesn't it? So it's I'm crocheting with a yarn that's been knit together. And this is living in a lovely bag that Claudia from Crochet Luna gave to me. It's perfect. It's perfect for this dress. Living happily in there. So there's not much to say about that, guys. I'm just making a sunstruck granny square. I guess essentially if you're sunstruck granny square. If you don't like that granny square, you could probably just substitute any granny square and with that have the same number of rounds and just use that in the construction of your dress. So what else do I have to share with you guys? I am doing a update to the Shield Maiden garment pattern. So that is living in this lovely macaroon bag. And what I mean by kind of doing an update is I maths a bit wrong. Not in the original pattern, in this version I'm trying to do with DK weight. So this is up to now what I have. This would be the back piece. Minimal shaping, guys, honestly. I really didn't do a lot here. I just used a 3.75mm hook. Here I used a 5mm hook and I'm just working my way up. Now, I ran out of yarn. And I'm using 3 hanks, so potentially I didn't have to run out of yarn. I could have used more of this. This is Padfoot. This is the Padfoot colorway by Little Bean Loves. I could have used more of this before fading it out into this Toffee Apple by Nora George. And this is the Wormtail colorway, also by Little Bean Loves. So I could have actually used more of the Wormtail colorway before fading it out into this one, and then before fading it out into the Toffee Apple. But the reason I'm using just the faded version, I really wanted to have something cool to wear to New Hampshire now for Thanksgiving, so I thought this was a very autumnal version of the pattern. Now, I have 2 choices. I could rip it all back and start fading it out again. Or I could leave this as the back part and start in the front and start fading it out the way it was originally intended. And then I'll be like 2 rows off to match in color. That doesn't really bother me, I have to be honest. What bothers me most right now is the thought of ripping all this back. I'm about 2 inches short of actually having a garment that I can wear, because if I just bring it there, it's going to be incredibly cropped, which is not what I wanted. See, my pants right here, that's where the shirt's gonna be, which is not what I wanted. And I'm still, it'll be a bit tight in around the arms. So I've just put it in the naughty corner for now. I mean, it'll stretch, guys. This will stretch. It's lovely and soft and woolly, so I know it'll stretch. So I think for now, what I will do is I will just start making the Mooney colorway. This is it, wound up in a ball. This is a simple DK base, so the colors look like watercolors. I just love this. And this is the prongs. Sorry, did I say padfoot? This is prongs. So if you recognize them, these are all Harry Potter, except for the toffee apple, which I just chose because it's very fall. So we'll see what comes out of it. At least I've tested the pattern to see if it works for a DK weight, and it does. You just have to thoroughly adjust the stitch count. I won't be releasing this as a separate pattern on my blog. What I will be doing is that I will just I'll be in the same post, I'll be updating the pattern. Not as a PDF, just written in the post, because this one is more of a recipe of how the stitches should be arranged, and if you're interested in fading it, how I faded it. So it'll be more of a recipe than pattern, because I already wrote the pattern, but I'm just showing you that you can do it in different weights of yarn for different occasions and in different materials entirely, because the first version was done with a 80-20 bamboo nylon. I'm sorry, 72% cotton, 28% nylon blend, and it's this one. My first version was done in this yarn. And now my second version is being done in 100% wool yarns and DK weight. So I just want to show you that this pattern is very versatile, and as long as you adjust for your stitch count, you should be very well on your way to making it in whatever colors you choose and in whatever materials you choose to make it in. As I said, that is already a pattern in my blog, so if you're interested, it is written as a PDF, so you can download it if you wish. As I said already, this pattern will not be included as a PDF. It will be in a page and on the blog. It will be on the blog, but in a page. I think that'll just make it easier for you guys as well. But anyway, the other thing I'm working on is more Christmas related, because it's one of the presents that I want to make this Christmas. I had already decided for Christmas that I was essentially just going to try and make hats for everybody and maybe a shawl here and there, but I'm very behind, especially because I wanted to design my own hat. I was really set on using the linen stitch, and I did find a video on YouTube that uses the linen stitch, but it's called moss stitch, because I believe that what we in the US know as linen stitch, which is a single crochet chain 1, repeat across, and then in the next round you single crochet into your chain spaces. For us, that's known as linen stitch. Some people call it granite stitch, and some people call it moss stitch. So Anyway, I did found a tutorial in English from a German crafter who designed this hat, but I'm pretty sure she used a bulky weight yarn. So I'm using DK weight yarn, and I'm trying to adjust this pattern for what I wanted it to be. So I wanted it to be a very tight beanie because this one is for my brother, and my brother just uses tight beanies. So I'm gonna quickly try this on for you guys. So you can see the beanie is pretty tight. There's only a tiny bit of slouch to it, but it forms these ridges that I don't like, which essentially means that the decreases happen too fast. Now, I've broken this pattern up so many times already. So you can see here the ridges I was talking about because the decreases happen too fast. But I'm going to open this up so you guys can kind of see. This is what I was working on. I tried so many different ways of decreasing and I didn't like any of them. So what I ended up doing was using a round of single crochets to bring it all in and trying to give it that round shape for a hat. And this caused these ripples to show through. So I thought, well, maybe I can just take out the single crochets and start alternating lower between single crochets and linen stitch, single crochet and linen stitch. So it will gradually make a round shape. I've tried, like I said, I've tried decreasing all the way across using single crochet decreases. That didn't work. I've tried, sorry, my hair was driving me crazy. I've tried just decreasing on various points across to kind of give the hat a star-shaped pattern. That came out just as weird as this. And I'm about to frankly give up and just make another hat because I'm on crunch time, guys. This is meant to be, Christmas. I think I'm gonna rip it all back. What I'm gonna try to do is start with less rows of linen stitch. So right now I have 22 rows of linen stitch. I think I'm gonna do 20 rows of linen stitch and then do a row of single crochet and then linen stitch on top of that and see if I can get the hat to actually look hat-like instead of muffin-like. Anyway, this colorway is called His Mother's Eyes, and it's also a Harry Potter colorway from Kayleen. And I'm using a 4mm hook. I have 60 stitches on this round that I picked up because I have 60 rows right here. So I just picked up 1 stitch in each row. And I just did a half double crochet in the back loop only as my ridge. Now, I really wanted to use linen stitch because it's close and I wanted this to be a very warm, squishy hat. Linen stitch is so squishy, so that's kind of what I wanted for this. I don't think I'm gonna give up, but I just need to move on to another project. And what I like about this, if you flip it inside out, just look at that. It's still so beautiful, so you could make the hat fully reversible. So I'll keep you updated, but this is gonna have to go in the rip it back pile, start again. But I'm really, I think I'm gonna give it 2 more tries, and if it doesn't come up, I'm just gonna move to a previously established pattern because I need to get these done before Christmas, guys. These need to be shipped out by at least the 15th of December, so I have a month to do all these gifts. Can't waste time. So what else do I have to share with you guys? I have been knitting for a bit, but I'm not going to share any of those projects with you because then this video would go on forever, and this is meant to be a shorter video. But I think we can chat a bit about some crochet news and what's going on in the crochet community. Socktober is officially over and I only managed to crochet up one pair of socks. I'm very, very sad about it. I wanted October to be all about the socks, all about finishing socks, I should say. And we are also having a C2C Cal, which is hosted by Rosina from the Zines and Roger podcast. I think there's 2 weeks left on that C2C Cal, and then it'll be coming to an end. Whipvember started, which is hosted by Charlie from the Love Charlie podcast and several other people. And the idea behind it is that you finish all your whips, or as many whips as you can, in November. So hey, maybe I'll be participating in that, maybe not. I'm not putting any pressure on myself, but I really have to get things finished, guys. I mean, really. And Emma Potter, who is of course Potter and Bloom, released an ebook, her first ebook, and it's got 2 knitting designs and 1 crochet design, and they are beautiful. So if you're interested in that, then go check out Emma's podcast because she uploaded a beautiful yarny podcast. And another fellow podcaster which has released a pattern is Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet podcast. She's released her Bellatrix shawl. It's her newest shawl design and I went and purchased it. It was beautiful, and now I just have to hunt down yarn in my stash to actually make with it. So we'll see what goes on there. Obviously, this is a long list of makes, guys. I have to finish the Ollivander shawl, Hermione's everyday socks, the Jemima socks, my fiance's socks, the update on the Shield Maiden pattern. I have to finish my Aster top. I have to do that 3 more hats in addition to that one that I'm designing. I have to finish my Secret Garden dress. And I lost count already of all the things I have to do. But, you know, with all that, I also have some exciting news coming up. Mom's coming to visit me on the 14th of November. I have to go pick her up. We're going to be spending a lovely crafty week together. And we already made plans to meet up with Hannah. And I think she's going to talk to the host of the Quirky Monday podcast. I don't want to say your name wrong. That's why I'm not saying it. So to see if we can all meet together in Orlando on the 16th of November. So that'll be really fun. And I'm just looking forward to all the crafty fun that we can have this year. This year is almost over and I feel like I haven't crafted enough. Do you guys feel that way as well? Do you feel like the year is almost gone and you did not get all the crafty stuff you wanted to do done? Because that is certainly how I feel. But I've come to the conclusion that there are so many beautiful things, patterns and yarns, that I will probably not live long enough to make it all and use all the yarn. So I guess that just brings me up to just a final show on acquisitions, and it's just a final show on acquisitions and the things that I have currently in the shop. So for acquisitions, I just really have one. I received another Knit Crate subscription box, and this one had 2 hanks of this beautiful yarn. It's not showing up too true to color. It's a very pale purple gray and with some darker undertones of purple, but it's really just a purple gray hank of beautiful, squishy, super wash merino, 100% non-super wash merino, and it's a sport weight, and it's just so beautiful. And I really wanted to try and make Emma's new shawl out of it, but I know it won't happen because she used 4 skeins of Stylecraft Special Decay. Those are 100 grams, so there's 400 grams of yarn. And I only have 200. It did bring 2 of these. So we'll probably end up making a lovely squishy scarf of some sort because it's a beautiful, beautiful color and it actually matches my bat skirt so well, guys. No, Clarissa, no more garments because you have not finished the ones you have on the go. But it'll look so good with the bat skirt. Right, so if you're not interested to hear what's in the shop and what will be in the shop, then this is where I leave you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and just enjoy all the crafting time that you can. But if you are interested in hearing a little bit of what I have currently in the shop, then stick around. Now, one of the things that I posted in the shop were these lovely socks. So these are some sock keychains. They are handcrafted by my mother and they include these mini sock blockers, and these were purchased. These are laser cut acrylic plexiglass. This is about, I would say, 1/8 plexiglass, maybe a quarter plexiglass, and they all come just like this if you would like them. But of course you could use them as decorations. You could read Mom's blog post about all the different things she does with her mini socks, so you don't have to feel that you need to just purchase these sock keychains to be able to have a keychain. You know, you can do so many different things with them. You can use them as a necklace. So how I would do it, you can include the sock blocker, so you could just take off this little keychain part and hang this from a chain if you would like, or you could take the sock out of the sock blocker and keep the sock keychain for something else. But yes, these are in the shop and they are all handmade. All the yarn is 75/25 superwash merino nylon. Some of it is stellina. I don't know if you can tell. Actually, they're all stellina. So I would have to say they're 75, 20, and 5 because we have to include the stellina in there. And the other item I have in my shop, I uploaded some felted cupcakes to the shop. These are pin cushions that you can purchase for yourself or for any crafty friends. This one specifically is a red velvet cupcake with a cream cheese frosting and a little strawberry to decorate. Now, I'm going to show you mine. So this is my poor harassed pincushion. But you can see how well it holds up. I've been using it for a while now. Mine's a vanilla cupcake with some blueberry frosting on top. But these guys are perfect to not only to decorate your craft corner, but they're useful. There are pin cushions and I'm just in love with them. So there's 2 cupcakes in the shop and 1 slice of cake. So if you want to go check those out, you can see the pictures. I took many pictures from different angles so you can get the whole spectrum of cupcake goodness. Now, that really is it for today's podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I do have other things to chat about and other makes to do. Today, my to-do list includes editing this podcast, sewing up some Christmas bags, trying to finish that hat pattern, which is driving me very crazy. And of course, just keep crafting on. That's what my day includes. Lots and lots of crafting for my business as well as for my blog. So again, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy it, then please click the subscribe button or the like button, any of those that you are interested in. And of course, you can also subscribe and follow my blog if you're interested in that as well. Please don't hesitate to comment. I love to read comments from you guys. I think it's a great way to keep interacting. So comment everywhere. You can comment on Instagram, on YouTube. Send me an email, comment on my blog. Follow me on Pinterest. All that jazz. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and spending a little bit of crafty time with me today. I am ever so thankful for it. And let's just keep crafting on, guys. Bye.